Disclaimer for the resulting kooky, spooky, dooky, shrooky. No, seriously, this story has self-harm, it has blood, it has gore, it has murder, it has bullying, it has what have you. So, if you're not down with those things, this might not be the video for you. But otherwise, enjoy the show. I'm wearing my spooky outfit in preparation for reading the spookiest of spooky shit. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Hi. It's me. Let me just start off by saying this was like a whirlwind to try and gather the actual material for. Because I first started out on the creepypasta website, but that bitch is loaded with ads. And I didn't want to be spending like half a day cropping out ads. That's not my tea. So after doing that, I went over to Scribd. I had to sign in, I had to start a free trial before I realized that the story that I wanted to grab was just a short version of the story that I actually needed. So that was great. Canceled my subscription to that. Could have cost me $12. I'm glad that I stopped it when I did. Then I went to Wattpad. And when I went to Wattpad, I was like, I do not want to go paragraph by paragraph, copying into a Word document. That's not my tea either. And then I kind of paused, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, why am I doing all of this shit? I have a phone. So I went to my phone, and I went to Wattpad, and I copied all of that, and then I pasted it in Pages, and then I printed it. And that's what this is. Because I'm extra. You're still gonna see the normal format where the paragraphs come up. Because I'm extra. I just want to handhold it because I didn't want to be scrolling. Because again, the creepypasta site has way too many ads for me to care about cropping out. Jeff the Killer cannot make that much money because frankly, is this working? It's a terrible fucking story. But yeah, we're gonna have a okay time, as Jamie French says. If you didn't read the title, if you didn't see the image in the title, you didn't get jump scared by it, today we're reading Jeff the Killer. I never had a creepypasta phase. I saw Momo one time, and no, that image is not coming up here. Because I'm the editor, and I don't want to go looking for that, because that scared the ever-loving CRAPSHITASS out of me when I was, in 5th grade. And I've seen it 5 times since, and each time I kind of get a little... So I'm sorry if the Jeff the Killer thing in the thumbnail has that sort of effect on you. You saw the disclaimer at the beginning, and you know who I am, and YouTube, you know fair use, right? This is fair use. It's not plagiarism, because you can access it really easily. Enough dilly-dallying. Oh my god, the light from the ring light is I can see it when my eyes are closed. I can see it when my eyes are closed. Here we go. Ominous unknown. Killer is still at large. Oh my god, I can still see the ring. Whoa. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. Ooh. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to go back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered on black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it, a simple phrase, but said it in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep!" I let out a scream. Oh my god. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked. I punched. I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. Ooh. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. Oh my god, he just keeps talking. He keeps. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards. I'm not gonna keep doing. Yes, I am. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass break-in. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out it to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department. Okay, and I think this is where it like transitions, but the place that I copy pasted from doesn't tell me at all when the frame narrative turns into the main narrative. So I guess I'm just gonna have to use my AP literature skills and put them to the test. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou, I'm not racist, I just don't know. They're doing too much. They could have just said Lou. Couldn't complain though. A new, better house. What was not to love? I lost where I was because the ring light glare is in my eye. As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. Hello, she said. I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son. She turns around and calls her son over. Billy, these are our new neighbors. Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Leo. They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Okay, this is tripping me out. This is tripping me out, baby. Because why are we switching up our point of view, perspectives? Why is this story famous? It can't even stay in the time that it's supposed to be in. What's the tea, baby? Baby? Mama? I can persevere. Jeff went up to his mom. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's birthday? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid. Yeah, you just met this girl. You just met them. If there are parents in the comments, is this something that you do? Because kids don't usually like it. Kids have a way of finding each other and they build those friendships on their own. The light is tripping me out. Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. No, we're going to that party and that's final. I'm bitch, I do what I want. I'm independent. I don't even know what I'm doing. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. There, looking at his ceiling, when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Liu, I'm done. I'm gonna say No, I'm not. Finished breakfast. They walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans because why? You couldn't tell me Jeff's age, but you could explicitly state the brand of blue jeans that this random bitch kid is wearing? Are you kidding me? Sorry, 12-year-old who wrote this story. It's just not very realistic. And I don't think you should keep writing. You should quit. Well. Looks like we got some new meat. Meat? Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Leo looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. Fuck you? Like, what? And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Leo stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Sorry, 12-year-old who wrote this story, it's just not very realistic. Tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems you must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Leo and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Leo gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Where are these fucking kids getting these knives? Sorry, 12-year-old who wrote this story. It's just not. Oh my god! Oh? And what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Sorry, 12-year-old who wrote this story. See, this is what I'm talking about. If he wasn't... I can't make excuses. What the fuck? I forgot where I was. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in his stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Sorry, 12-year-old. Focus on me, honey. Honey. Should I raise you up a little? You raised me up. I could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how'd you? That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Leo made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. Yeah, because kids don't tell each other shit like this immediately. This 12-year-old needs to be at more school, instead of writing bullshit like this. Where even am I? All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. Ooh. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. that it wasn't regular fighting and that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Leo.
Son,
said one of the cops.
we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?
Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Leo had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou.
That was a lot of word salad for something that could be explained in that last little sentence.
Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Leo tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his brother and they both nod. Are they changing the point of view again? Why? Not the point of view. The time?
Whatever. They're bad at writing. It's making me mad.
Well, kid, looks like a year in Joey.
Wait, says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. A-C-A-B, A-C-A. It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal, I'm not going to say that, because that could, yes I am, cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. Oh. Anyway,
just put the knife down,
said the officer. Leo held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. No, Leo, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. Police led Leo out to the patrol car. Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Leo. You can stop. They're like... Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Leo inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Changing the page prematurely because I'm done. So basically, here's the rundown of what happens in the story on this page. Settings changed, and now it's Barbara and Billy's house, and they're at the party that Jeff's mom forced him into. But now there's no Lou, and he's wearing really uncomfortable clothes, and he doesn't like it because he's a little bitch boy. I'm just waffling at this point. Just like this author is doing Oh, wait, let me just read this last part. Randy comes in, guns blazing, because, uh-oh, what's gonna happen now? Let me tell you what's gonna happen now. Randy got an angry look in his eyes.
Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today.
As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. I'm this close to just putting my hood up, and nobody's gonna stop me. You're not gonna stop me. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their motherfucking pockets. Why are the kids? Why are they strapped?
No one interrupts her guts will fly,
they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. But I thought they were strapped. Why Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. This little bitch. Get up! Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some
help?
He
Need some help?
He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. What in the Hulk? As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood.
Come on, Jeff. Fight me.
He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka, because that's an important detail, on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. They're 13! So they're having the little Marvel fight. Nothing much. Oh, wait. So they're fighting, and then Jeff, cracks. He has that typical, 13-year-old conceptualization of what a mental break looks like. And instead of falling on the ground crying, or just locking yourself in a room screaming, and then being fine because you're lip-syncing Ariana Grande lyrics into the mirror that you don't have, you're instead killing people. I mean, I'm not invalidating that. Get your life. But I am. Don't do that. You can get your life without getting someone else's life. That's on period. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. Damn. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop, because that's how hearts work. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids. When these parents and they bald-ass kids get back in the building, I thought they ran away crying.
Continuity. What's that?
This is 32 minutes of unstopped footage. I don't even have a script. This is pure me, baby. This is pure me, baby. Let's focus. So if they had guns already, I feel like this would be the time where anybody would have started shooting. I get fight, flight, or freeze, but I feel like guns kind of outmatch a heart punch. But whatever. Now he runs because he knows guns are on him, but he knew guns were on him beforehand, before he killed somebody. But he wasn't scared then. Whatever. Continuity! As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Actually, no, that's accurate. I don't think I could. Okay! I don't think I could shoot straight. He dropped the knife and Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Hi, I'm Joy. Troy goes down
hard.
And now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though. Yeah, because Troy's fucking fat. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
What's so funny?
Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on.
What's funny,
he said,
is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol.
You just got bunked! Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter on him. Focus on me for the next however many minutes it takes for me to be over with this. If I have to do this, so do you. Honey. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. Because again, we needed to know that it's not just alcohol, it's vodka. Because what else kind of alcohol? Alcohol burned him. The bleach bleached his skin. Well, yeah, that's usually what bleach would do. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught fire. Oh! He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. Someone make a band name called Walking Inferno. I will stan you so hard. I will do so much marketing for you. Be like an alt-rock band. You need to focus. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. I don't think I've ever seen a kitchen upstairs. But whatever. I'm just nitpicking at this point. But I can, because this is my YouTube channel. Suck it! He ran down the hall and fell... Yeah, I already read that. Oh, shut up. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. Great. Cool. 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 C-O-O-L. Cool. When Jeff woke. Jeff's woke? Ew. He had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. Poor guy. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm. And when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in.
I don't think you can get out of bed just yet,
she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Probably a hospital, you dumb bitch. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. Honey, are you okay? She asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Leo go. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. Let's hope for the best. Girl, if I woke up from a procedure like that and the doctor said, let's hope for the best, I think I would actually kill myself. Quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Leo and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. I bet he looks really great. What? What happened to my face? What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the curse of the distress. The Curse of the Distress. That is a sickening alt-rock band name. Curse of the Distress? Make it. And I'll do marketing for that too.
Curse of the Distress.
Okay, stop. His face, it's horrible.
His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror.
Jeff, said Leo. It's not that bad. Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect. His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching.
Jeff,
are you okay? Okay. I've never felt more happy. Ha, 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 ha. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know. Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son alright, in the head? Well, bitch, I feel like you would know this more than a random doctor that you've known for probably a couple weeks. You've known him for how many years? 12, 13, and you don't know if your son is all there. This shouldn't be a new development. If it is a new development for you, you must not notice a lot about your kid. Going on 45 minutes. Yeah. It's making me cry. Oh, yes. The behavior is typical for patients who have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here, and we'll give him a psychological test. You didn't give him a psychological... You don't want to do that now? That he's doing all that? No? Got it. Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. You're a bad parent. You're a bad mom. Jeff, sweetie,
It's time to go.
Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile.
Okay, Mommy. Ha ha ha.
His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes.
This is what came in.
Oh wait, I know. Never. Focus!
This is what came in,
said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. We really had to spell it out, every letter. Interesting. So what was the point of the rest of this page? The point is content. So I'm gonna read every last bit and milk it for all it's worth. Okay, honey? Yes, mama. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. Then she looked into the bathroom. She saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black.
Jeff, your eyes, oh.
His eyes were seemingly never closing.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired. My eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself. My new face.
Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. So now you're saying that he's going insane. Got it.
What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Donnie so he can see your face.
She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep.
Honey, get the gun. Really, Mama? Really?
She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife.
Mommy, you liar.
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with a knife, gutting both of them. I'm just imagining this little, 4-foot nothing, little Oompa Loompa ass bitch with his crazy ass smile going at his mom, all scary or not scary That doesn't sound intimidating at all, because it's not. Because whatever. His brother Leo woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Leo. Leo thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Jeff said,
Just gotta sleep.
That's the end. You might be wondering, why? And the answer I found. If you enjoyed that, if you stayed long enough, now it's 49 minutes of filming. Continuous. I didn't stop. Mama didn't raise no quitter. She didn't raise no bitch. If you made it this long, period, you're a Sigma skibbity male, as the kids say. But yeah, that's it. That's the tea. So we're gonna go to the outro now, because I don't have nothing left to say. Here we go. For fuck's sake. Go to the